We've been standing here for like 10 minutes just looking at this thing because I don't know what to do for an intro. But while I've been standing here, this car looks extremely good. It's the 2020 Volkswagen Jetta GLI. And out of all the reviews I've done, I'm most excited for this one. And I don't know why, but I am. Oh no. Fake vents. Even the Mach-E didn't have fake vents. They are indeed, indubitably fake. Well, no streamline through here, no relief from the pressure pocket. And this is real. This is going to your intercooler. So that is a real vent, which I do like the design, that's cool. And these are real vents as well. But down here and here, it is not. But I do like the red stripe. The red stripe looks cool. Signifies that you do have a GLI. The headlights are gorgeous. Oh wow. Can you get in here? That pattern looks sick. Shout out to Volkswagen for that. That pattern's cool. Now the headlight assembly is really cool in this thing. So cool headlights. I like the front end. I wish it had real vents, but that's where you just drill some holes and make your own. So it's heavy. Does that not scare you? I'm not pulling down on it, I don't trust that. It's a weak elbow right there. We don't trust weak elbows. That's weird, I've never seen a design like that. And look how much, I wonder how much pressure it's put on over here. But nonetheless, this is a 2-liter 4-cylinder. Has a TSI something on it. What does that stand for? We should have definitely looked this up.
Turbo.
Probably has something to do with turbo. I'm sorry, I should have looked that up. We are currently in a place with no reception, so. But yeah, 2-liter 4-cylinder, makes 228 horsepower, which is a pretty good figure for what it is. The car only weighs 3,217 pounds, so 228 horsepower is plenty of power, enough to have fun and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, you get a small little engine, but it saves weight and still plenty of power to have fun. And you get a turbo. And back here, you can actually see the turbo. See, the turbo's actually not too bad. It's not as small as I thought it was going to be, but yeah. So you get a turbo, 2-liter, 4-cylinder. Nothing crazy, but it's plenty enough to have fun with. And it's got a 6-speed manual on the inside, so you'll see that here in a minute. This thing is heavy. Quality. As you can see, it has dual exhausts. I'm gonna assume that the normal Jetta doesn't have dual exhausts. And then you even get a little diffuser down here with small little fins for some aerodynamics, which is nice. I'm sure you'll feel that. Better than nothing. It's got a big old glass panel on top instead of like a sunroof. It's kind of cool because it's like really black, and then it gets to white, and then like black again. I was gonna say if I were me, I am me, but if I own this car, I would definitely get that wrapped in black, just to have that sleek look of all black. I think that would be cool. GLI badge, it's important. You got brakes, and they're actually decent size. I mean, I would say like this is not necessarily a direct competitor of per se a WRX, but the WRX always had small brakes, and I think these are bigger than the WRX brakes, and they actually have red brake calipers, which is cool. So yeah, brakes aren't bad, I will say. Let's drive it. Alright, before we drive, I want to talk about the interior. It's actually pretty nice. Steering wheel is great, but it actually has the screen, and then it has the screen over here. Yeah, so the screen, you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Mirror Link, I don't even know what that is. But yeah, so really simple to use. You literally just plug in your phone through USB, and it connects straight to the Apple CarPlay. So it's super easy to use. It does have car modes, so you can have custom, your own car mode. You can have eco, normal, or sport. We're gonna go with sport right now because we're on some fun roads. So down here is also pretty cool, and you can also change the views depending on what you just want to look at. Nothing crazy, but yeah. So you can have all kinds of views on there. 3 different ones specifically. Tis is a 6-speed manual, which obviously I really enjoy. After I sold my BMW, I don't have a manual car to drive anymore, so I love reviewing manual cars. They're the most fun. It's a really simple interior. You know, you got cup holders, storage space, you got a glove box, you got storage space here. The back seat's decent. The seats are nice. The one thing I will say, if you guys look on the door panels on the front, so as you can see, it has that carbon fiber looking texture, but it's not carbon fiber. It's kind of cool, but they don't put that in the back at all. Like, it's just plastic. As you can see, they just put black, and they didn't put the carbon fiber trim in the car, or the fake carbon fiber trim. So yeah, they did cheap out on the back, which is a typical Volkswagen thing, and other manufacturers do that as well. But yeah, it's just kind of, it's becoming more of a normacy that I don't like. Like, I mean, how much extra is it gonna cost to just put that material in the back? A few bucks, probably. All right, now let's drive this thing. Oh, we gotta put the electronic parking brake down. Now we're off. 228 horsepower from a 2-liter 4-cylinder, and this thing is indeed front-wheel drive, which I've never been a huge front-wheel drive fan. It's either rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive usually for me. But as I've been driving this thing a little bit, I've only been driving it for about an hour and a half, and you can't notice the front-wheel drive very much. There's been a few times where I can notice it a little bit with a little bit of torque steer. But other than that, I mean, you literally just can't tell. Volkswagen did a great job of making it just handle like a sports car regardless of the type of drivetrain you have. So you're not sitting there worrying the fact that it's a front-wheel drive vehicle. You're not worried about understeer. You're not worried about that type of stuff. It's just, you know, shift and go. The shifting, I will say, is very buttery. It is very buttery. It's almost too buttery. I almost want some more notch in there, but it feels very nice. It's very easy to use. I mean, the Jetta isn't necessarily a super high performance sport vehicle, so I mean, it's not gonna have crazy shifting mechanics, but this is like a very, very daily drivable gearbox, and it's also very playable as well. You could definitely have some fun with it on some back roads. It's definitely not gonna mess you up or anything. You guys hear that? That actually sounds nice. You actually get some decent noise in the interior. And you can definitely notice a difference when you go from normal mode or eco mode to sport mode. You could definitely notice a difference in interior sound. And we'll do a clip of us doing the exhaust sound from the outside in normal mode and then sport mode so you guys can hear it.
All right, so we're in the back now. We're gonna try the different car modes. Here is normal mode for the exhaust. Here's sport mode for the exhaust. Me personally, I don't think much changes, except it kind of sounds like it's blowing more air. So we'll see.
Much of a difference?
Not real.
So there's definitely a bigger difference in exhaust sound in the interior than the exterior. So I'm hoping that it's not playing more sound like from the speakers. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like it's coming from the engine bay, to be honest with you. But hopefully it's not manufactured exhaust sound through the speakers. Hopefully it's actual real. But yeah, so you can notice it more in the interior than the exterior, which, I mean, if you want to make your car loud, put an exhaust on it. But it's kind of nice for the inside because I like to hear the car while I'm driving. So it's not great, but it's not bad. It's still kind of nice as a driver listening to your RPMs climb and actually hearing the engine do what it does best, and that's accelerate. And this car's quick. I mean, it's 228 horsepower and it only weighs 3,200 pounds. My BMW that I had was 225 horsepower from factory, and it weighed like just over 3,400 pounds. So you're getting a 200 pound cut in weight, and you're getting 3 extra horsepower, and it feels great. Like, it feels quick. It's plenty enough to have fun. And that's the point of this car, is something that you could daily drive, which the owner of this does, and still have plenty enough fun when you get on a road by yourself and you want to take a few corners. It's a great car for it, I will say. The steering it's light, and that's like one of the first things I notice. And I think going from normal to sport mode, it changes the steering a little bit. But off center, it's very light in your normal, just like this area. But once you actually start turning a bit harder, that's actually where it feels a little bit more connected. The steering is definitely not bad. I would say the steering is good. Obviously, there's a lot better steering out there. Honda S2000 is one of them. But this thing feels very, very nice. And I genuinely am surprised how good it feels behind the wheel. Actually going through some corners and stuff like that. If this is a car that you're looking to buy as a daily, I'd recommend it. I think you could have a great amount of fun in this thing compared to just a normal Jetta. Although I haven't reviewed a normal Jetta, so I'd have to drive one. But the gearbox, I'm loving it. The steering, I'm loving it. The sound, everything. I think the experience as a whole in this car is great. This would be like comparative to like a 3 Series BMW, except this would be a little bit cheaper. And honestly, I think this would be a good option, unless you're really a stickler for rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Like, you have to have that, then obviously you'd go something like a BMW instead. But if having rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive isn't a must, then I think this would be a great competitor for that market. The clutch feel for me, it's really good, but it is a bit light, I will say. But as this trying to be a everyday vehicle and a fun sporty vehicle, it's gonna have to have somewhere in the mix. Obviously a track-oriented vehicle is gonna have a heavy clutch, but this has something kind of in the middle. But it's a little lighter than what I usually like, but it's definitely not bad. I guess there is one thing that I do not like in this car, and that is the rev hang. It's also been common on the WRXs, but yeah, it has really bad rev hang. You don't notice it much. So as you can see, when I accelerate in 3rd gear and shift into 4th, and you can see that rev hang there. Revs have to jump down and meet you in the next gear. When you go to shift it in the next gear, there's not like a huge difference, but you can definitely see it on the tachometer. So my consensus on the GLI is it does exactly what it's meant to do. It's really daily drivable, and it's a fun car to drive on the back roads by yourself and have a good time in. If this is something that you're definitely looking into, then I would give you the go ahead, tell you to buy it. It's a good looking car as well, so you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Have you seen the shape of this gas cap?
I think it's got a dent in it. We could fix that. Imagine, like, the body line just goes all the way through, but this just like comes back out. All flat and normal. Well, that's where you put in the fuel. Damn, you can really see in there. Sorry.